If you own property through your SMSF, or you love the control and flexibility that comes with running your own self-managed super fund, there is one mistake that can quietly create serious problems. Not all SMSF property valuations are treated the same. Choosing the wrong type of valuation report can lead to compliance issues, delays, and unnecessary costs, even when the property value itself seems perfectly reasonable. If you want to enjoy the benefits of holding property inside your SMSF without creating avoidable problems along the way, this is something every SMSF trustee should understand. Hi, Kim here, helping everyday Australians understand what their properties are really worth. In this video, we'll dive into the differences between long-form and short-form SMSF property valuations, and when it is applicable, why auditors sometimes request rent review reports, and how to make sure your fund stays protected. If you own property inside your SMSF, this applies directly to you. Your accountant may have asked for an updated valuation before the financial year ends. Your auditor may have requested additional evidence, or this may be your first time arranging a valuation and you are unsure what level of report is actually required. This is where many trustees run into problems. The issue is rarely the number itself, it's whether the report format and supporting details meet audit requirements expectations. So, let's break it down clearly. Every year, your SMSF must report its assets at market value. That includes any properties held within the fund. The valuation supports your financial statements and forms part of the audit process. It becomes even more important if the property is transferred, sold, or leased to a related party. In those cases, you must demonstrate that the transaction reflects true market value and commercial terms. While it may feel like a routine annual requirement, this valuation plays a critical compliance role. There are two main ways this valuation is typically done. Let's start with a short form valuation, often called a desktop valuation. This type of report is prepared without a physical assessment of the property. The valuer relies on recent comparable sales, market data, and the property details provided. It is generally faster and more cost-effective. That's why many trustees use it for routine annual updates where nothing significant has changed. If the property is straightforward, located in an active market, and supported by strong comparable sales evidence, a short-form valuation can be entirely appropriate. However, it is not suitable for every situation. Now, let's look at long-form valuation. This involves a comprehensive assessment of the property. The valuer formally assesses its condition, reviews improvements, considers layout, location influences, and any unique characteristics that may affect value. The final report is more detailed and provides stronger supporting documentation. It clearly explains how the value was determined and presents reasoning in a way that is more robust for audit purposes. A long-form valuation is usually required for the first valuation inside an SMSF. It is also commonly needed where the property has undergone renovations, where comparable sales are limited, or where the assessment has a higher value or is more complex. When auditors are seeking stronger substantiation, a long-form report provides greater defensibility. When you first bought property through your SMSF, what is one mistake you wish someone had warned you about? Let us know in the comments. Now, let's talk about rent review reports. If your SMSF holds commercial property, particularly where a related party is leasing the asset, auditors often require evidence that the rent reflects market value. A rent review report independently assesses the current market rental value of the property. It supports the position that lease terms are commercial and helps protect the fund from non-arm's length income issues. Put simply, it provides evidence that the rent being charged is consistent with what an unrelated tenant would reasonably pay in the open market. For funds with related party leasing arrangements, this can be a crucial compliance safeguard. So, how do you decide which valuation format is appropriate? A short-form valuation is generally suitable for routine annual updates where the property is straightforward and unchanged. It is efficient, cost-effective, and often sufficient when strong comparable evidence exists. A long-form valuation is typically required for the first valuation inside the fund. It is also preferred where the property is more complex, recently renovated, higher value, or where stronger evidence may be needed to satisfy audit scrutiny. At the end of the day, it comes down to the level of risk, how complex a property is, and how much supporting detail the audit may require. Getting the right report from the start can save time and avoid delays during audit seasons. If you want to avoid compliance issues and ensure your SMSF property evaluation stands up to the audit review, the key is selecting the right report type from the beginning. If you are unsure whether you need a short form valuation, a long form assessment, or a written review report, speak with our team before your audit deadline approaches. Early clarity can save time, reduce stress, and protect your fund. For more insights on SMSF property compliance, valuations, and related party rules, subscribe to the channel and explore our other videos. Stay compliant and make smarter property decisions inside your SMSF.